Not working now? Oh my god. It's all falling apart. I've had some guys in 8 minutes, hopefully. Hey, Mom. All right. We're almost ready. I think they want to download earlier, so it took me 2 minutes to get it up and running. So I'm gonna see what happens. God, like if it downloaded the wrong one, I'm gonna be irritated. But you're here now. You got this. All right. Ugh. Alright, so I'm assuming everything is working. I got some music going. My microphone is working now. I don't know what happened. For whatever reason, it felt like my computer didn't want to download anything. Like, I don't use the computer for anything other than just this. So, I don't know. I just went in and deleted a bunch of stuff. I have no idea if that did anything, but it downloaded. So, I don't know. I can't fix the chat either. Oh. It's not a deep dive. It's a very small deep dive. It's a rabbit hole. So if you guys paid attention to the description, the title, we got some new interviews. We got some Deli Boy updates, and then I'm gonna kind of go over a little bit of the Greco and freestyle wrestling. It's not a huge deep dive, but it's kind of just a little taste, it's a rabbit hole. So not a bunch, but I did look into it a little bit, pulled some clips, but I don't know. Now I don't feel so confident because like everything seems to be falling apart right now. But we'll figure it out. We got this. I wish there was a way like he could call in, but I don't think I'm even ready for that for this type of live stream. But hey, um, we'll see. We'll see. We'll see. Good to have you here, though. He won't watch anything I do unless I'm like, hey, I'm talking about you. And he's like, well, let me just tune in real quick. So I ran 2 minutes late, so it's not that bad. Again, I can't fix the chat. I don't know what is wrong with the chat because the other screen for for my pockets, the view counter doesn't work. So go figure. I can't figure any of this out anymore. Anybody else here hanging out? Hey, chasing the Whimsy on screen, right? Episode just dropped this morning. Good episode. Liam and I hung out for a little bit, talked some wrestling. Hey, make sure you're subscribed to YouTube and all the other podcasts. See, now I can't say anything about my kid because he might actually be watching, and then he'll be like, because normally he doesn't watch, so he doesn't hear any of the other crap I talk about him. Oh, all right, here we go. We're doing this. 30 seconds. Dude, my latency is so much better because like I'm down to like 2 seconds on the delay. So if anything bad happens, I have to have 2 seconds to turn it off. I need a kill switch. All right, here we guys go. Hello and welcome to Whimsy Live. It's Whimsy Nooners. Look, I got the gear on. Small technical difficulties. If it's anything like my life the last like 12 hours, this is gonna be an amazing show. Um, I think I am still clean, no errors. The one little mistake last week wasn't an error. I got it right back on track. So As far as I'm concerned, we're 2 weeks, 2 weeks without mistakes. Uh, we'll see what happens this week. Hi, Grandma. So, uh, interesting episode. Uh, I was talking to somebody the other day. Here's where we got just small. Talking to someone the other day, and we were talking about some stuff, and he's just like, "You, you should do some research and put it on your live show." So, I did a little bit of research. It's on today's live show. So we are going to uh, we're going to have some fun on the back end. Okay, we're just gonna go. We're gonna see what happens. I have an extra slide in there for no reason. Um, it's gonna be entertaining. Let's get on it. Nooners, first time on Nooners. If you guys are your first time, Monday at noon, I'll talk about my week, what I've been doing, and then I have a little segment for what I've been watching, and then I have a rabbit hole discussion in which I kind of just fall down a rabbit hole and I introduce you to some things. So it's going to be a small deep dive, just a rabbit hole. But if you're interested, definitely continue researching a little bit. Some of the uh, rabbit holes in the past that I've absolutely enjoyed. Uh, New grounds we recently did. Um, I can't even think of any more. Shoot, the Guild. Taylor Tomlinson, we did one. Um, Speaking of Taylor Tomlinson, all right, hold on, I forgot there was a slide before. Like the whole Taylor Tomlinson thing, I'm just like it's leaving it hanging the whole way. Hold on. Getting to know me. It's a pun because we got gnomes, right? Gonna get to know me. This is what I've been doing this week. Some of the things that I've been doing, um, is the comic. So last week I showed you some of the comics uh, that we have Kit doing. She's 19-year-old Ukrainian. She's been working with me. We have about 14 of these things right now. She's working on Liam's webcomic. So last week when I showed you them, it was just the full 4 panel. Sometimes I think it was a little hard to read uh, the dialogue. So what I went ahead and did is I'm just gonna play you guys the comic one panel at a time. All right, so we got. I'm assuming that's Dad. That's a little girl. She grabs a stool. I'm just clicking away. She jumps. She's so funny, and she says, "I'm gonna do it again." That's just a nod to Sophie. She finds something that's exhilarating and fun. She will do it all day. We played catch last night for a minute, and she was just throwing and catching. Man, she was just like, I think she lost an hour doing it. Um, she played with Mom. She played with me. She played with Auntie. Uh, but those are some of the comics. Those are Whimsy Doodles is what we're calling those. So we got a Whimsy Doodle. Every week I'll go ahead and put them up for you guys, so you guys can read them. You can find them on any of the socials, and they're also updated now on chasethewhimsy.com. There's a spot for them. So all of them will be on there. Again, thank you to Kit. She's doing some fantastic work. What else have I been doing this week? Okay, remember that Taylor Tomlinson comment I made? Okay, um, we got some interviews coming up. So I did reach out to Taylor Tomlinson in her group. Small project. I emailed them about. So we'll see. There's a young lady who has a cookbook I mentioned last week. She's scheduled for next week, the 17th. So, right. Shoot, when did I do it? I might have to skip breakfast next week. Next week. Okay. Uh, we got a young lady coming in talking about her new cookbook, favorite things. She has a bunch of recipes and she ties them into, uh, and she's inspired by different movies and some family experiences. So, um, there's quite a few of them in there. It's interesting. She has a couple of other books coming in that I have that I might touch base on a little bit. So we have that interview coming. Let's see, if that's on the 17th. It means the 19th might have an extra bonus episode. Um, Mind Pockets, we mentioned we're going back to TSD Town. Can't tell you who, but there's only 3 members of TSD. We already had one. We know one probably won't come on. Like he's big time in it right now. He's out there and practically joking. And then one's family tree. Don't know if we're gonna have any of those interviews anytime soon, but I am reaching out to that to the family and see if we can get some stuff scheduled, grow it a little bit, and then I'll start dropping those as soon as we get those recorded. So, um, a lot of emails being sent this week. Jen Schwabach, I emailed again. Uh, my Oscar winner, I reached out to her again. I'm still waiting for some replies, and then there's a couple of new emails. We want Mark Bernardin um, from Fat Man Beyond, a podcast with Kevin Smith. So I've been sending a bunch of emails. We're just waiting for replies back, but we already booked one for next week, like I said. So we're getting there. And then I have a meeting today with one of the families today at 2. So uh, big stuff coming. The TESD guy, probably the first week of April, maybe the second week of April. I'm not sure yet. But a lot of cool interviews coming in. I like doing them. It um, gives us a break for like Liam's like go back listen to episode 103. Liam's gonna be just succeeding on his side, doing his thing. So having some of these extra interviews are kind of nice. Um, I mean, to be fair, most of them come out as like a bonus episode Wednesday, but we'll see. But it's kind of fun, those interviews. And then a lot of the feedback from episode 100 was that you guys enjoyed some of the interviews. So we will see. They're going to be fun. What else we got going on? Oh, right. So I mentioned I was working alone overnights, twice a week, right? So we're like, it's not so bad. Suck it up, man. And then like this week, I felt all alone. There was a big project that just came out today. Um, some circumstances came up, and I ended up kind of uh, finishing it ish by myself. So that kind of sucked. But then, like, just when I thought it couldn't get worse, I'm all by myself. Like, legit. So I just thought that was a funny. Overnights, some some stuff happened, and now I am legit working 5 nights a week by myself. I don't know how I feel about that yet. It is what it is. What didn't make the the slides or my teeth are all jacked up, so I'm gonna get those fixed tomorrow. You'll see that updated next week. There's probably a mind pocket or two about it too. So yeah, but that's been most of my week. Is just really focusing on some of those
Go check
interviews, and then trying to get just get used to like working alone, fixing some stuff, emails and stuff. So Uh, Interesting. We'll see. We'll see. Right now, super positive. We'll see what happens in a couple of weeks when I'm just like just worn out. Those will be interesting episodes. There won't be sad dad because I'm not really depressed and like I'm lonely, but not as lonely as I was sad dad. But like I might just be like, I don't think I'll be grumpy. I think it's just gonna be like way loopy, like way. We'll see. Here's a commercial for you guys.
Out Chasing the Whimsy, the podcast, available today on your favorite podcast platforms. Chasing the Whimsy, where a 40-year-old father and his 2 kids take a whimsical journey of fun stories and educating each other about their respective generation. Generation X squares off with Generation Z to try to connect and find an understanding between generations 30 plus years apart. They'll journey through the past and track their journey as they find out who they'll grow up to be. Again, that's Chasing the Whimsy, available today on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, YouTube as well, and you can also find the show and learn more about the hosts at chasingthewhimsy.com. Chasing the Whimsy, ChasingTheWhimsy, Chasing the Whimsy, the podcast. Many episodes up for you to listen to already. Go stream, download, and subscribe today. You can also connect and follow on Twitter at Chase the Whimsy and on Instagram and TikTok at Chasing the Whimsy.
I love this. I love that animation. It's so good. We can watch. Hey, remember? I told you there used to be a slide right here. The intros. I found it. It was at the very end. I moved it forward. The Pocket Watch. This is what I've been watching this week. Okay. Um, some new stuff that's going to make next week's. A couple things I want to touch base on this week. Okay. Um, Maybe. There we go. Barry. I mentioned it last week that I was watching Barry 4 seasons, total 36, 38 episodes ish. All right. So here's the cool thing about Barry. Okay. Um, One, I found out that I enjoy Bill Hader. He's a very nice guy, uh, very talented. I believe he wrote and directed most of Barry. So he does a lot of impressions, but as a writer, he's a very funny guy. One critique I have about the series for Barry is season 4 is weird. Like it's weird. Seasons 1, 2, and 3, real good. And then 4, like, okay, so season 4 has 8 episodes. The first 4 episodes, okay, I can track. And then it just goes into like this fucking, oh, I don't know what was happening. Um, there is an ending, so there's a hard ending. Um, I appreciate episode 8, but 5, 6, and 7 different, like vastly different than what the tone of the original show was. I almost didn't get it. I got it because I know where it wanted to end. Weird. Um, on the screen, there was a Ronnie and Lily episode, season 2, episode 5. The only reason why I note that episode in season is that 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 one episode is probably one of my favorite episodes of television I've ever watched. It was hilarious. It was funny. It was a little over the top. Um, but I was thinking about it because I'm like, God, that's such a good episode. And I started thinking about some of the other episodes. So real quick, I'm gonna take a small detour on the Pocket Watch. I'm gonna tell you guys some other episodes of television that I like. That is super small. Let's jack this up real quick for you guys. All right. Okay. Almost in no particular order. Nope, I lied. These are in order. I don't know if Barry is number 5 or number 4. Okay, but there was an episode of Californication had David Duchovny in it. Um, he was um, like an old novelist, like real big in his time, and then kind of just like faded out and is just like this womanizing drunk. So episode season 3, episode 8, called The Apartment. Hilarious. I don't think anybody's ever watched it, but for whatever reason, I felt it was important that you guys know that I very much enjoyed Californication season 3, episode 8. One of my other favorite episodes of TV, BoJack Horseman, Free Churros, season 5, episode 6. Liam and I enjoyed this episode. Um, it was Emmy nominated, right? Lost out to Rick and Morty for that. But this episode is special because BoJack's mom dies and he has to do the eulogy. And it is 22 minutes of just it's a 22-minute monologue. It's just BoJack. Just there's nothing happening. He's standing at the podium the whole time. It was interesting to see an episode of TV in which the whole episode is just a horse standing in front of a podium, just giving a monologue. Season 2, episode 4 of Ted Lasso, Carol of the Bells, Liam and I's favorite episode. It's a Christmas episode. Probably uh, it really is one of the best episodes of TV. And then my favorite episode of television that I will go back and rewatch multiple times, still to this day, is BoJack Horseman season 6, episode 15, View from Halfway Down. Um, Most of you have probably never seen half of these. If you have, fantastic. I would love to hear your opinions. Um, you can watch BoJack. You can watch Free Churros without knowing anything about BoJack. You really could do Carol of the Bells without knowing Ted Lasso. It picks like all the missing pieces, like all the things that you don't know about. They're very good at filling you in. Um, as you go. Californication, it was just a mess of a show. You need 2 seasons to kind of figure out what the hell's going on. Um, and then View from Halfway Down is just a little bit darker, but it's brilliant. I don't think it's got the recognition that it needs. It's going to be one of those that um, 10, 15 years from now, they're going to point back at this BoJack episode, and uh, you're going to see like essays. You're going to see people actually breaking the episode down um, and analyze it because it's that good. So Barry. I finished Barry. Really good for 3 seasons. A little confusing season 4. What else? So here's this. This one's fun. Okay, I pointed at the fences last week. Right, I did. I told you Deli Boys has potential. This show is hilarious. Um, it is doing very well right now. All 10 episodes. Did they do the full 10? I think they did the full 10 on Hulu. I believe it's Hulu. Um, Very funny. 2 boys, dad dies. Hey, hey, how you doing, buddy? She heard Ben's working by himself for overnights, and she's like, "Well, I wish I could be there to help out." Mm. Uh, it was fun. Okay, Deli Boys was pretty fun. Um, I have realized, and I'll probably mention it again throughout the year. I enjoy a group of misfits doing stuff. I don't know what it is, but I absolutely love a bunch of misfits just like falling into success, I guess. Um, Also, what I found out is the second lead, forget his name, the second lead, the smaller of the boys, uh, Lasagna went to school with him. I'm one degree away from Deli Boys. Yeah, they took like AP history together. Sorry if Lasagna didn't want me to say that, but she told me, and I gotta brag. I know somebody who knows somebody once upon a time who did something cool. Um, I don't know if this is a Violet. You would enjoy this, I think. I don't know if Grandma would get behind it, and I don't know if my mom would get behind it. It's a little too nothing bad, but it was fun the whole way through. It was interesting. It was fun. I enjoyed it. And then probably the big news of the week: Daredevil Born Again. Two episodes that came out on Wednesday. Absolute banger episodes. Shit. I just used banger. That was a question I had for Mother's Day. Anyway, all right. So here's what we got. Daredevil 7 years ago was on Netflix. It is the most violent thing that Marvel, uh, the television, the division, right? So Marvel TV. Actually, to be fair, everything Marvel. This is the most like hardcore, brutal, violent thing they've ever put out. The original series. And then they did Punisher, Jessica Jones. Okay, so those were on Netflix. So they got away. Those started before Disney bought, right? Or yeah, before Disney bought Marvel ish. Okay, so now that Disney is owning fucking everything, right? We've seen some real vanilla content the last like 3 years from Disney and Marvel. Not a lot of really good stuff. Trying to think. The Eternals were complete garbage. Um, Miss Marvel, I thought the Marvels, I think was fantastic, but it's all like real vanilla stuff, right? Because they're trying to maintain that PG rating, right? Disney notoriously hates PG-13 material. Like they absolutely hate it. When they buy Fox, kind of has to change a little bit because they got all the Fox property in Hulu, right? So they try to dump all of their PG-13 shit over to Hulu. Born Again is like the first like hardcore Disney Plus show that is this violent. I don't know. Okay, so here's my sell. Okay, for mom, grandma, it is technically a superhero, right? He rarely wears the costume. So if you're like, I don't like superhero stuff because the costumes kind of get me, he barely wears the costume. Even in season one, back from Netflix. All right. He has almost no superpowers. He's blind. A lot of punching, a lot of fighting. There's some political stuff going on in here. Um, there's a couple of people who've seen all 9 episodes of season one. This thing is pointing at the fences as being the best Disney Marvel project they've ever done. Um, the first 2 episodes are really good. We got Matt Murdock, right? Your Daredevil. He does something. Some shit happens real quick. It's only going to get better. That's all I'm going to say. Um, this is going to be one of the better shows of the year. I don't think it's going to win any Emmys because superheroes superhero TV doesn't seem to do well during award season. But this story wise is probably the most compelling thing I've seen in a while. A lot of lawyer, a lot of political stuff. They're going to be doing some stuff. Um, I think what's going to be interesting is You have the Daredevil, right? Mac Murdock. Within the first like couple of minutes, right? His whole life changes, and he used to have this virtue of like don't kill anybody. Um, and something will happen in which he's gonna start killing people, right? So like his entire nature is gonna completely change. And then I think that's where the born again comes back is once you cross that line, can you ever come back from it? So you're gonna find this superhero who's at his lowest, battling a bunch of these demons, and can he come back? But then you have Vincent D'Onofrio, who is the kingpin, who's going to be running for mayor, right? He used to be like a crime syndicate guy, right? He's running shit. He's like beating people up, like chopping off heads. Okay, he on the straight and narrow. He's like, I just want to do good for this city of New York. I'm going to be mayor. There's a real fucking adorable conversation between the two in a diner. So is Vincent Denario's character, is he being born again? Is he's like, I'm no longer a criminal, I'm gonna be a better person? We don't know. 2 episodes in. All we know is all hell's gonna break loose. Um we got Punisher coming back. There's a second season almost done, so we already know it's so good that they have a second season already. Uh it's very violent. If you don't like violence, like real in your face violence, then don't watch it. Like this might not be for you. But if you're turned off because it's like I don't like superheroes, give it a try because it's very little to do with superheroes in the traditional sense. So um, that is my take. I will probably, I'll definitely bring up Daredevil again if it's April 12th when it runs its last episode for the season. Because rumor has it that episode's supposed to be amazing. So we'll see. Uh, but that's all I've been watching. A lot of work stuff. I did pick up an extra show. I'm only a season in, so I'll bring it up next week. I'll let you know what I think. Um, but remember, go back to last week's. Look at some of the stuff that we're going to be looking at. What's coming out? Happy Faces on the 20th. John Mulaney has something coming out on the 12th. So there's going to be some real fun stuff coming out this month. And reason for it to be that loud. Why is that loud? Okay. Here's the rabbit hole. Okay, wrestling, right? The national U.S. wrestling for the kids, right? It's held sometime in July, in Fargo. Big tournament. Okay, so when you go to these tournaments, right, as a wrestler, there's two different formats that you can wrestle: the Greco-Roman and the freestyle. Okay, you're like, but what's the two different styles about? What's going on? All right, so I'm going to show you. I got some videos. I'm gonna. I don't wrestle. Okay, I haven't deep dove as much as I'd like, but maybe um, Liam can help me put together a better presentation as we get closer to um, his national trip. So I almost want to record him and I wrestling so we can see what some of the actual moves look like. Um, I could have just found a couple tutorial videos. There's two of them out there. They're about 5 minutes long. I could have just showed them to you, and they would have broke down all the rules and the differences between the two. I didn't want to do that. I wanted to actually research it a little bit, find some clips, play them for you guys. The clips, for whatever reason, I don't think have sound. Oh, because I have my microphone off. Well, that might make sense. Well, I figured out why there's no sound because my speakers were on, but the microphone's off. And when I was recording it, it would want the microphone to record it. Maybe. Oh, that's weird. But that's all right. You don't need the sound anyway. We're just looking at um, the two different styles. Okay. Now, as we look at this is where it gets like this is some fascinating stuff. It really is. Um, let's go in and get into it. I think we're gonna. I changed it up last second. We're gonna go freestyle first. Okay. Um, so when you okay, so you're freestyle. Okay. You get some. There's some points. Okay. It's all you and your opponent. Right. You get different forms of takedown that can be worth between 2 and 5 points. Some of your more like explosive, um, like aggressive, like your suplexes, like some of those takedowns, those ones are going to be worth more 4 or 5 as opposed to uh, just throwing them to the ground, right? You got points for reversals. You got your exposure, all right? So you'll get 2 points if you're in the danger position and come out of it, out of bounds and pass the points. Okay, so these are some of the points, right? Freestyle uh, to win, you need to win by fall, which is like if your shoulders are pinned. Technical superiority. I believe this is the one that if at the end of the period you're leading by 8 to 10 more than your opponent, you get the auto win. And then if you go all 3 periods, whoever has the most points by decision. So if it's 4-3, obviously the four would win. But like if you just completely dominate the one period, you take the win. Okay. All right. So here are some matches. Okay. There's roughly 3 clips for each style. There's no sound, so I'm just going to talk over it. So the hell with you guys. Okay. So I took this. You can find them on YouTube, but this is the 2024 boys freestyle in Fargo. So this is where Liam's going to be this year. Okay. These kids are obviously a little bit, I think, on the lower weight class. I want to say 108. Okay. So here's what I've found in my research. They do squats, bend of the knees a lot more, right? Trying to keep their center because you can attack the legs, you can defend with the legs. But it's a very aggressive sport. That's how crazy that is. I mean, that's what my boy does. He just straight dominates these guys. All right. Here's another clip. Look how crazy this stuff is. All right. So that happened right at the buzzard. Um, but he was leading. He would have had points for the takedown. That would have been a 2 point takedown, right? Just the belly to belly flip him over, as opposed to like a straight suplex that I think I have recorded. Good job, guys. Um, I didn't keep their names in it just for like respect to them, but you can find them. They're uh, they're online. All right, so this is a higher weight class, still freestyle. Oh, hold on. Oh, that was me. Okay, that wasn't me. That was me. The original recording. but there's a lot of attack the legs in freestyle. It's one of the bigger differences between the two formats. A lot of leg stuff, a lot of leg work. All right, Blue just got the point because he's back now on top. All right, so here's what I found out also in freestyle, real quick. Okay, is Blue is on top. Okay, and you got the 2 points for being on top. Now you're gonna watch this really cool move in which he keeps rolling his opponent. Okay, so Blue's still in the dominant position. That's 2 points for the rollover. Roll back over again. He just got another 2 points. That's worth another 2 points. Uh, One of the most interesting things about the freestyle format is I think that particular move. Um, I think Blue ends up winning definitely in the match, like almost 9-2, 9-1. A lot of it's just because of those rolls. He gets the 2 points for each of those rolls, um, which was interesting. Fantastic stuff. Um, we saw clips of the 106, and I believe those boys were in the 140s. Those last clips. No matter which weight class I was watching, all of them, every one of these kids are just fire, just like running. They're so like I could not like in my heyday. Obviously, I could. Now I don't. I couldn't go 3 rounds rolling around with somebody. Um, so a lot of with the freestyle because you have to protect your up and your legs, right? And then at the same time, you got to figure out how to attack the up and the legs. Um, a lot of pushing and pulling, right? So it doesn't look all that hard, but if you think about it, like just because it's not just pushing and pulling, the other person is resisting you. So you have all this, like you have 106 pounds pushing against you, and you're pulling 106 pounds, and you only weigh 106 pounds. So all you're doing is you're just pushing and pulling, lifting your entire body, basically, for 6 to 8 minutes, which is crazy. Um, all right, so that's your freestyle format. All right, that's gonna be the second half of the national tournament. I believe so. No, I think that's the first half. Second half, Greco, also known as Greco-Roman. It's just a different style. Okay, points are very similar. Um, Actually, they're almost fucking identical. Okay, but the difference between the two different formats is bonkers. This is the one that Liam's not. Uh, he's excited for. But this isn't the one that they they train a lot for in high school. I'm assuming. Um, it's a completely it's a way different format. The important thing as we watch these next couple is that within this format, you can't use your legs to attack or defend. It is all upper body, and it's bonkers. This is the one that Liam thinks he's not going to do as well in. I think on the podcast he said he's going to go 0-2. I don't know. I think he might do. He's got a bunch of time between now and then. Knowing that he got his spot for nationals, obviously he's going to put his head in the game. I think he will enjoy the Greco style more because this is the style that him and Megan wrestle. I don't see him like trying to like go after the feet as much, but this is an interesting format. This one is brought to you by it's on YouTube, Flow Wrestling, same as the other clip. They're the ones that do all of the recordings for the wrestling, and then put them online. Uh, this comes from the 2004 European Championships. So a lot of like head holdings. Okay. Now that suplex is what I was meaning in the differences in the takedowns. That one I believe scores 4 points. Um, I don't know if there's an easy way to rewind that real quick, but we'll just kind of just. Um, and there's kids who like there's kids that are suplexing. It is crazy to see a kid suplex somebody. All right, here we go. Okay, blue wins. He suplexes him, and then is able to reposition himself because they were belly to belly, right? And what's intense about this format, right, is belly to belly, and then right after the suplex, how fast they are into the rollover, and then to the pin. Like absolutely, like just just a monster sport. I think I would have been good at this in high school. They tried to get me to do it, and I just didn't. All right, so here's two more guys. But you, again, remember, uh, like the your standing positions, right? These guys are a little bit more legs fully extended, like slight bends, as opposed to the freestyle where you're a little bit more like crouched because you got to defend. You got to shrink your the the space like your opponent can attack you. So in this Greco style, you're a little bit more standing up because all your power and your attack and your defense is up top. Looks like a lot of slapping. Oh, look at that. So blue got a point because they were face to face. Now he's on top. Got it again. A lot of pushing, trying to get your handings. So here's a point. Okay. Um, it looks like red should get the point. They gave the point to blue. Okay. There's a replay here. Um, I guess there's there's another way you can earn points. Okay. Uh, there, if you challenge a point and you lose the challenge, your opponent gets a point. So what they're looking at is red is like I was on top, like I pushed him out. I was the dominant. I want the point. So red's like no, I was I was again the I think dominant is the word I saw most. All right. Okay. So we got red. Okay. But the reality is it's blue that actually makes the move for the out. So you get the point for the out for pushing your opponent out. Um, but red at the end kind of does that quick roll. Red wants the point, the 2 points for um, the reversal. They review it, and just like I just showed you, it was actually blue that was in the dominant position, forcing him out. So there's a lot of really interesting things um, that, like, uh, I'd like to get Liam after a match because I would love to know what goes through. No, maybe not during a match. I want him to. I want to watch a match with him that he does and kind of see what goes on in your head because there's so many things happening, right? You got to pay attention to where your feet are on the mat, um, where your hands are, where your opponent is, and trying to figure out like, is there enough room to throw a guy? So those are some just a very small. Uh, Again, that's just a rabbit hole of the two different styles of wrestling that we're going to see Liam do um, coming in for nationals. So he took second at his qualifier. He is paid for. He's got his the organization is getting his plane and his hotels ready. He read over his. Now, real quick, did I just get clocked? Did I just get? How long have I been now? Hold on, everybody. Stay. Hang on. Give everybody credit. Stand by. Hold on. I know. I know. Hang on. Hold on. Uh, hang on. Let's see if it brings it back. Hold on. It should be back shortly. Well, I'm just gonna wait for a second. Let's refresh. Yeah. No. Okay. So I even gave him all credit. It's like that last video. I don't know what happened. I know what happened. Obviously, I used. That was what we were. That's what I was worried about. Right? Is um, I don't know how much of it you guys saw. To be fair, can I go back and check real quick? Like how much? How much did did I lose? Like when did I actually cut out? Okay, yeah. Screw you guys. Not you guys, but YouTube. All right, you saw most of it. All right. At least that's what it looks like when I go backwards. Uh, what do you guys think? Like, how intense does that stuff go? So I think I was talking by myself for a couple of minutes. So um, I'm repeating. I'm sorry. Those are the two formats Liam's going to be doing. The freestyle is going to be a little bit different because he's going to have that roll potential, which is going to be interesting. Easy way to get some points. The Greco style, I think. Uh, I will reiterate. I think it's going to be. I honestly think it will be one of his. He likes wrestling, and I get that he likes. But if he doesn't wrestle the Greco format, like obviously freestyle is his favorite. But there's still a bunch of people that wrestle the Greco style, and I almost see him enjoying the 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 Greco style more. Like um, I don't know. I think it is interesting. I think it's gonna be fantastic. He's not super confident, ish. I think in his head, he's still trying to just work through because he hasn't done it yet, right? Like, oh, I don't think I want to do that good because I don't practice it enough yet. But I think once he actually starts practicing it, I think he's gonna knock it out. Like, to be honest with you, um, I think that format is. I don't know. I'd have to go deeper on the uh, why people choose one format versus the other. Like, I'm curious to see. Obviously, we have a 2024 European Championship for the Greco style, so obviously there's people who specifically train in that particular style. Um, it is interesting. There's a bunch of videos online. I know I didn't explain a bunch of it that much, but to be fair, prior to today, you probably didn't know there was two different formats, and or you didn't know what the difference was between the two. Um, Regardless of whatever format, grips of athleticism on both sides. Just a little bit different form of strategy in which you attack. Um, Very interesting stuff. So, um, I did mention that I would like to have Liam sit in on one of uh, his matches because I'm curious on what you guys think about, right, when you're wrestling. So, um, those are your two styles. Those are the two styles that uh, a number two qualifier, two in the state last year, uh, what he's going to be going for when he goes to Fargo. So, real big stuff, interesting stuff. I think he's going to do well. Um, right now, spring break, he's not even thinking about wrestling that much. But when he starts back up and training again, we'll get an update to see how much he's enjoying the Greco style.
Hey there, Whimsy fans! We wanted to take a moment away from the fun to express how much your support and contributions mean to us. If you're liking what you're hearing from us so far, we'd like to invite you to show us some love on our new Patreon. Starting at just $1 a week, you can help us keep the whimsy coming. That's not just our podcast, but live streams and new projects on the horizon as well. All members get special shout out during our live streams. If you're comfortable giving a little more, please take a look at our gift tier. These gifts are hand-picked by the Whimsy crew to bring more curiosity, fun, and whimsy to you as thanks for your support. Every little bit counts, and whether you support us by listening and subscribing to our podcasts, holding court on our lives, or subscribing to our Patreon, thank you for helping us keep the magic alive and the mics on. You can find our Patreon at patreon.com/chasingthewhimsy, or follow the link on our YouTube channel at Chasing the Whimsy. Thank you again for all the support. Whimsy!
This one needs to get updated. There's one too many people on here. One too many people. Andy, Nikki, your family, Megan, your family, Joyce, Ann, Enderfrog, EC1, Gooster, Violet, my dad, and Courtney. Thank you guys for helping out and paying the membership for the Patreon. Uh, Here's the irony. I need you guys. I need the Patreon because clearly I'm getting shut down on YouTube. This episode will clearly not be monetized. I will make $0, 0 cents on this episode, but it was important. Um, I don't do videos for the monetization aspect of it. Like, I'm not. There's a lot of people who create content just to try and make a couple of bucks. I do it because I like to have fun. I like to show you what my kid is up to and how he's going to dominate all these kids going into nationals. The Patreon helps out, lets me be creative, lets me hire artists. J Sarge does the theme music. Kit over here does all of our comics. Look at this. Look at, oh, where's she at? Look how cool this comic is. She like I come up with this. I give her an idea. I said I want a kid jumping on the couch. So now Sophie is in a comic. Uh, your couple of dollars a week, 4 a month, or 10 a month. helps us continue to create really cool stuff. Um, a lot of it's just for that. Like I'm not even using like the Patreon stuff to pay for any of the like I'm still way in the red on this thing. That's what it is. Uh, but it's again, a lot of it's not about the money. A lot of the Patreon right now really is to help me to support getting some cool artists, come up with some cool things um, with the Patreon. Uh, I get to make some really cool stuff for you guys. We got blankets coming out; they're being delivered this week. J Sarge Megan's, yours should be delivered probably by the 14th, and then everybody else right around the 14th also. Um, we also this slide is off because I fucking forgot to change it. We have 10 members. We need 55 subscribers, members to the Patreon moving forward. Because I'm going to take $1 from everybody, right? And I'm going to give back to the community. So it's not just, oh, Ben wants to hire people to do fun stuff. No, no, I also want to help the community. Liam brought up a cool point yesterday is if anybody has a different suggestion or idea for a different cause that we could look into spreading some money for, I would be happy to. Jason the Whimsy's already donated the $500 for the family assistance program for the holidays. If for whatever reason we're like, we like this other, like throw it out there, let's talk about it. We'll figure it out. But we're trying to raise some more money for a different charity right now. It's gonna be the same one. But our goal is $500. I put in $500. I'm just looking to build a community of about 55 or more of you. Um, to know that you guys will get some cool merch and or you get to watch us make cool stuff and help support a couple of independent artists. Other than that, that's our show. Started a minute late, 2 minutes late, to be honest with you. We got shut down. We haven't done that in a while. That doesn't count against the, because we knew that was going to happen. Good to know that they let me play trailers. I didn't get paid for the trailer episodes either. I don't think I do. Stand by. So last week I played trailers for some upcoming TV shows. And I'm pretty sure I don't get paid for those either. Which is lame. Like, why wouldn't you guys want to get paid? Well, I guess because I would just do like a whole show of just review everything live. Hey, we've already had a bunch of people listen to the first episode. Thank you. Um, yeah, this is I didn't get monetized at all. Yeah, the trailer episodes are ineligible for monetization. So um, again, it's not fully about the 30 or 40 cents dollar that I make per episode. As long as you guys are having a good time. Mom was excited with the trailer. She's watching Happy Feet or Happy Face. She was like, "Oh yeah, I did remember that." Wrote it down. She's like, "Today." She's like, "The 20th." Um, Deli Boys. Like I don't play that. We don't realize that I'm 1 degree. Lasagna went to school with that guy. That is so cool. I don't know any cool people. Grandma, I know you're cool, but where's Bob Hope? Oh, he's dead. Um, where's like the? I need some like. I don't know. You guys are all cool to be fair. Like we all have interesting things to come to us. I was excited just to watch some guy on TV and then realize like I knew a lady that knew him 20 years ago. Holy crap. I've been out of high school for like 20 plus years, dude. And that's a weird way to fucking string that. Like, yeah, I graduated 02, right? 23 years ago? I haven't been to any of those reunions. Do any of you guys ever go to your reunions? I don't know. All right. Hey, see you guys on Saturday. You'll see me Saturday. Um, It's gonna be an interesting week. We're gonna see some interesting mind pockets from this week because all kinds of stuff is happening. Teeth working alone, the conversations, the interviews I'm having. It's gonna be a blast. You guys have a great evening, and check you out later. Hey, make sure you go back and listen to Liam's episode yesterday. Good episode. Have a good night. Whimsy.